What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Line in the Stars. I'm Jordan, and we're back today with this month's fan home release of the Starships Collection from Star Trek. And I think now I've done a good job of kind of like avoiding kind of like which model this is. I think I know which one it is. Is kind of based on some of the things that I've seen just a little bit of, and kind of from the original release. Now, if it is what I think it is one of the models that I've been most looking forward to. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and open this box and checking it out. So, I'll go ahead and say it. We can see that the box is still sealed here. I want to say that this is going to be the Luna Class USS Titan, Captain Riker's ship from when he first left the Enterprise after the events in Nemesis. So I want to think that that is correct. So let's go ahead and take a look, shall we? And just go ahead and slip out the invoice here real fast. Oh, no, there's no invoice. And I would be correct. Look at that. The USS Titan, one of my very favorite ship designs. I do have to say, the history of the ship design and all that is very, very cool. So, you can see here that the package, the sealing here is already open, so that does kind of make me happy a little bit. But that's an ominous sign, so to say. But yeah, the Luna Class USS Titan, they're saying it's from Picard. Really, I would say it's more from lower decks. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting choice. Obviously, the USS Titan 80102-A is going to be the ship that we see during Star Trek Picard Season 3, but we see the Luna Class Titan in action during a couple, I think it's the end of Season 1, if I'm not mistaken, of Lower Decks. And so, kind of interesting that they choose to call this for Star Trek Picard. But, that being said, however, a very cool design. Basically, what they did is there was a book series coming out from Pocket Books that took place in the events after Star Trek Nemesis, and they with Captain Riker and his crew. And they basically put it out there, hey, anybody want to go ahead and throw out a design for this ship? We'll put it out there and we'll vote. And this is the early days of the internet when we all voted on this. And this was the design that came up. So I can't remember the guy's name. I used to have it memorized back in the day. But there was a guy who designed this, and we'll get into a little history of that as we open up the magazine. So let's go ahead and start with getting the magazine opened and out. If I can open this without damaging the box, try to keep these boxes nice. There we go. These magazines really are very nice. I like the glossy material. They feel really good. All right, let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit here. Perfect, got the perfect size there. And we have the Luna Class. It's going to be 453.3 meters, captained by William T. Riker. It has phasers, photon torpedoes, quantum torpedoes, impulse warp. This is the front section of it. A very cool design, and this is what the stand positioning looks like. Very cool pose for the ship. So, I'm going to go ahead and read the magazine real quick, and we'll come back. We'll talk a little bit about the design. All right, so it was pretty cool, like, reading through this. It was a pretty thorough, like description of the design, and because it was all done in the internet era, right, like where everything's kind of documented online, they were very thorough with kind of the thought process for the design of the ship and kind of how it wound up being the final design. So basically what wound up happening, it took a long time to kind of make it to live action, really, and you only kind of see it in a couple little, you see the Luna Class in the fleet at the end of Picard Season 3. You will see a couple Luna Classes in there, and those are kind of just examples brought over from Star Trek Online, which is where this ship, you can also get one of those as well. But, it kind of took a little while, and like a little while, you're probably saying, over the course of like 20 years to kind of make its way onto live action or in the cartoons when we saw it in Lower Decks. Now, what's really cool about the design of this was, once again, like I said, they went ahead and put it out there for people to go ahead and submit designs. And as you can see here, here are a lot of the concepts done from from a few of the fans, but primarily by Sean Tarango, who was the designer of the Titan. And some of these sketches are kind of, where it wound up being, kind of working through some design elements and things that he wanted to incorporate. He wanted to incorporate parts of the, Voyager and the post, Dominion War, getting back into exploration, Starfleet, stuff like that. He wanted to incorporate elements of the refit Enterprise, the Reliant with the nacelles underneath. And basically what he wound up coming up with was this design right here. This is what he wound up submitting to the authors, or to Paramount, and they wound up selecting him. And they basically went through a whole design process. Like, they had already written 3 books in the series, the Star Trek Titan series. And in the book, as you can see here, the Sword of Damocles, which was the 4th book in the series, I just happen to have it. We'll take a look at it here in a second. But in the story, they had already written 3. Okay, so to kind of back up, I'm all excited right now. So they had already written 3 books, but they hadn't really like fleshed out the total design for the ship yet. So when when Sean won, they're like, okay, cool, you won. We like the design, but can you do some things? And so it wound up kind of working its way through and changing a couple things based on the way the books had been written prior to that. And, it was just a well thought through design. Doug Drexler and Rick Sternbach and the Okudas had their hands in helping the design of this, but this was a true fan design, one that really just kind of rings through as a pure Star Trek ship, which is very, very cool. So, yeah, just talking a little bit about that. And when they launched it in the Star Trek Titan book series, in the Sword of Damocles, and this is from, when was this book produced? This is 2007. So, in 2007, I picked up this book, and I was already reading the Titan book series, and I was really excited about it. But this book in particular, I was very excited about because, as you can see here, there's a little bit of split there in the middle. They debuted the design of the USS Titan in a little insert in the middle of the book, which is really, really cool. So, yeah, I remember nerding over this for so long. It's just so cool. And then it kind of gives you some of the other ships in the Luna Class fleet. And you can see that, they're kind of sticking with the 801s for their, the NX was 80101. Yeah, they're sticking very much with the Starfleet way of doing registries. So very, very cool. But yeah, I have this book. I've had this book for the last 18 years. And I am very excited, my friends, to open this box and take a look at my first model of this. So let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit here. Go ahead and bring her in. Let's pray, fingers crossed, that everything is fine and not broken. So, oh man, look at you. Okay, first impressions. Wow. This looks really good. The tampo print is spot on. Oh, this is a beautiful model. Would you look at that? The windows are spot on. The escape pods look great. The observation lounge up front. The ready room in the back there. Wow. Got the sensor pod up top. It's a multi-mission Explorer. Think Enterprise D, just not a big fat whale. You know, the fat one. Wow, look at that. Very cool. Warp core ejection point. Did they get the... yes, they got the impulse engines the right color. Excellent. The deflector dish looks really good. Captain's yacht back here. Kind of hard to pick up, but there's the captain's yacht. Wow. That's a big arboretum you're supposed to see down there, which is very cool. These nacelles are a very cool design. You can definitely tell that there was some influence on these. Mike McMahon was a big fan of the Luna class, and so you can definitely tell that there was some influence with the California class nacelles. Wow, those look really, really good. Wow, this is a very attractive model. I do have to say that this is probably one of the better ones in the series so far, just from an overall quality standpoint. The colors are all right. The print is perfect. The Aztecing is great. I mean, it is like just done so well. I'm really impressed with this model. I'm very excited. This is a very, very cool model. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and just. Oh, yeah. Cool. Very cool. Wow. That's exciting. I gotta say, man, I'm really excited about that. To have this. Oh, okay. Let's get the base out. And our stand. Go ahead and get it plugged in. Then we are going to slide it in just like so. Oh, that looks fantastic. All right, so there it is. Let me go ahead and get the display stand out, and I'll go ahead and get the camera on the side. We'll take a look at it on our way out. I gotta say, guys, this is really, really cool. All right, my friends. Well, there it is. I have to say, for as excited as I've been for this model, the payoff is worth way more than I was expecting. This was fantastic. This model was done perfectly. I have to say that I'm very impressed, and I am super excited to like actually have it. I've obviously been a fan of this, you know, like like a book doesn't make me a super fan or whatever, but I've obviously been a fan of this for a long time. I knew that I had this book, and I like was looking at it in anticipation, and hadn't seen too many videos yet. People dropping stuff on this model yet, so I kind of knew about it, but to actually see it and to be very surprised by the quality of it is very exciting. So that's what I got for this month's release from Fanhome of the Starships Collection from Star Trek. What's coming next? I'm not quite sure. We're getting on to model number 8, which is kind of crazy out of 20. We're almost halfway through this first run, and I'm very curious to see what we got coming up next. So that's what I got for you guys today, and I just want to say thank you. I know that there was a million things y'all could have done today. Instead, you spent a couple minutes with me watching me gush over a model, and I think that's pretty damn cool. You guys have any questions or comments, tips, tricks, please leave them down below. Like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. And my friends, until we see each other again, I hope you all have a wonderful day in this beautiful world where we happen to be. And just remember to always live long, prosper.